Boston Bruins team.
Well, that may be a big mistake. They seem to be doing it very well with the defense.
Listen, Halak is very good in goal. He was a good backup goalie, especially when Rask had his issues. He's actually still been playing pretty well, even though Rask is getting his groove back. But you know what? I mean, there's nothing really new or exciting to talk about in Boston. I mean, Bergeron's still on the IR. You know, I don't know. I mean, it's not much else that's going on there that's anything news. Listen, I don't want to talk about the Pacific Division. I hate the Pacific Division. There's not a single team I like in the Pacific Division. Not a single team. That's your brother deal. So don't leave me out of that one.
Listen, I would let it go, but how about Calgary? I mean, you don't even say anything about Calgary. And they have some great players doing a lot of great things there. Got Gaudreau.
Sure. They're in first place in the division.
Yeah, and how about their defense? Giordano, he's a plus 21. TJ Brody, plus 19. Come on.
We are not giving the Calgary defense any love. That is true.
Okay.
What
Listen,
about? But we
wait,
talk about James Neal. We love James
Again,
Neal.
don't say we. Your name's on the podcast, not mine, so it's you.
No, you're part of this deal now, man.
It's all your
You're
fault.
in. Oh no.
Mark, I'm with you. It's all Jay's fault.
I mean, half the reason.
And now you want to go there, okay.
And there you have it. Boom. Sorry. It's very true.
We were bonding there. What happened? I don't understand what just
You're
happened there.
just bonding over clubbing me over the head.
Right turn into a building with that.
That's right. Well, I agree with you. The Calgary defense. So tell us about what do you think Calgary's got a run in them?
I think they do. I think Matt Kachuk is playing well. They got Sean Monahan. He's hitting.
He's great.
They've got a good team, a very good club, well-rounded. They have two solid lines. They seem to keep their cool these days, except against Edmonton.
Well, you just said the key thing. They have two solid lines. To really kind of have a run or a real run, you got to have at least 3 or 4 lines. This is not, it used to be in hockey that you'd have 2 good lines, and
Too close.
and then you could get by with having defense or somebody who was gonna muscle around everybody else on a 4th line or checking line, but it's not that way anymore. You got to have more than 2 lines.
No, I agree, and I think that their role players are. I don't think that they're weak on the 3rd and 4th line, but I think that they have 2 great lines. I mean this is the thing.
See, let me ask you a question. He has a real New Jersey accent. What happened to yours?
Well, he's like a real Jersey guy.
Well,
Like,
if we're talking on the phone, I'm gonna be afraid of this guy. I'm not afraid of.
Well, that's because he's really from Jersey.
Your formative years. That's where you grow up and you learn things.
Well,
Your accent.
Yeah, but Mark, he went to Seton Hall University. That's like super Jersey.
Oh, that is super Jersey.
That's like as Jersey as you. That's Jersey.
That's Jersey.
You bet.
Yeah.
Jersey, whenever I do say Florida.
You don't say Florida?
Florida or Barry.
Barry.
This is my friend Barry. He's coming over later. Yeah. So Mark.
So point taken. We've
all right. So
neglected Calgary.
we've neglected Calgary and Boston. Who else?
How about Colorado?
We talked about Colorado.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about the 1 and 2 goal scorers of the league right now.
Right.
And dust it off in the course of give it 12 seconds per show, if at all. I mean, they are a top quality club, and they have what I call a Colorado advantage. They look tough. They look tough.
Well, I mean, they have the first 2 guys to get to 50 points, right?
One has 56 and one has, I think, 52, I think. 11 goals and 45 assists.
Who's
Somehow.
Landeskog?
No.
Ristolainen?
Rodman. Yeah.
Rantanen has 11 goals and 45 assists?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
I know.
We should talk about that on the podcast.
That's 15 goals.
You said no Colorado.
I can't stand it.
I don't care
just
for me either,
can't-
but
I can't bear it. I mean, you know what? They are going
What's
to be
our-
there. They're going to be there.
what's our downloads in Denver like?
Like 2.
Okay, well then forget them.
You know where people download us?
Where?
Detroit, Pittsburgh, Los Angeles,
The Delamies from
New
Detroit
York.
line?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, I mean, like, big time.
Good, as they should.
And believe it or not, here, I'll pull up the stats while we're talking, Mark. Fine. So you, all right, keep going. Who else?
And then you have what I call the non-scoring winners of Carolina. Now I know they're not in the standings right now.
They will be.
A dog, and they're building, and they have some good things. They got Brenda Moore there now. And,
We talked about Carolina.
I mean,
Actually, quite a bit. We talked about them a few weeks ago when we had Mia Khalifa on, and I was talking about their top line.
okay, all right, fair enough. I'll give
They're
you-
Teravated, and yeah, we were talking about their top line, and yeah, absolutely.
They are not scoring a lot of goals,
No.
but not giving them up either.
Well, Svechnikov was supposed to be the guy coming in, the new guy coming in, and he actually done fairly well. Done fairly well for a rookie, but you know, they need more than that. And you know, they lost what was it, Skinner, right?
Skinner.
Oh, did they lose
Yeah,
Skinner?
they lost Skinner to Buffalo
that's
now.
that's a big problem.
Right, and so
That's good for Buffalo.
yeah, so you know, there's some changes going on in that team, and now that with a new coach, you can't expect much with a new coach like that, and you lose one of your top scorers.
Well, you know, they seem to be doing okay. I think they're above Detroit in the standings.
A lot of people are. It's okay. I'm all right. I'm used to it now. Fine. We'll be back. I'm not worried about it.
That's a nerve you want to just lay off of a little bit. Just a little.
Because on top of that, you know who's playing well for them, and that's just
Right. He found a home.
He did.
You know, listen. He went from doing Detroit, and then he went to Philadelphia. No, he wasn't working out at all.
Phillies. I don't think anything's working out.
But remember, the one thing about Mrazek is he's very streaky. You know, we even had Trevor Thompson on from one of Detroit sportscasters last week, who was talking about, you know, the guy had issues with his work ethic and also on ice ability and everything else, and it makes a difference. And off ice, you know, what happens behind the scenes, also in a team situation, is I think just as important what happens on the ice. So maybe he's grown up, maybe he's changed. I don't know. What other Calvert constructive criticism do you have for us?
Well, let's see. How about, does anyone ever talk about Nashville anymore?
We talk about Nashville all the time. And Pecorine, we actually talked about him last week and the week after before that.
And Kyle Turris.
And Kyle Turris and the rest of the team, and the way that they think that they're potentially poised to win. And they may be one of the more well-rounded teams in the Western Conference. There's no question. We've also talked about Chicago and how bad Chicago is and how they're faltering. You know, we've covered a lot of this stuff. Maybe you're just not listening enough.
No, that's good.
See? Put it back on them.
Well, what about, I know another team that we definitely neglect. The Tampa Bay Lightning. Even though I picked them to win the Stanley Cup, we definitely don't talk about them enough.
Yeah, Tampa Bay, you guys touch on once in a while. You always say they're great, and they are. I mean, they are great. You know, great. And you know, as a guy that you guys.
We talked about it a few times, but I will tell you this. I really thought when they got rid of Bishop because of the cap, that their days as a contender were over. And then they come back with Vasilevsky, and I'm telling you, this guy is beyond what Bishop was ever. I mean, he is really lights out.
Oh, he's an amazing
Yeah,
keeper.
yeah.
Who's
big.
And their second is who?
He is very, it was Pasquale, wasn't it? But I think he's out now, isn't it? What's
Oh, no,
Pasquale?
oh, no, it's Manny, isn't it?
But it was Pasquale.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it Delgado? Something.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have a well-rounded team.
Yeah, they run four. They roll out four lines against any team any night. They have shutdown defense. I mean, there's just listen. This team is definitely poised to win. Now the thing is, they signed some of these guys to long-term contracts.
Domingue.
Yeah.
Yeah, Louis Domingue.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah, Louis Domingue is the backup
Dominguez.
for. No, just Domingue. He's not Dominguez.
Oh.
Yeah, well, listen, you touched on a sore subject because that's Tampa. I'm from, you know, down south here, and it's all Florida Panthers.
Well, the Florida team should be packed up and moved to a different city. I've been saying that, and as well as the Arizona team. Those two teams, one of them should go to Canada, and the other one should go to a different city in the United States. And there's no need for two Florida teams. So you have Tampa Bay, and that's it.
I disagree. I think they should move the Florida Panthers to downtown Miami where they could get some fans and
That
some
maybe,
support.
maybe that's what they should do. Then.
I mean, that's what we were talking about with, I forget who was talking, we went and watched a
Sometimes in the
game.
middle of nowhere.
We saw, right, the arena's in the middle of nowhere. Mark and I went to a game, Panthers and the Blue Jackets, and we got seats on the glass for $110.
Yeah, that's
That's not right.
crazy. No,
I just looked the other night to get seats for the Kings and the Penguins on the
$500.
glass. $500.
Yeah, face value.
We had a discernible ticket.
Well, that's what it costs.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
We hung on to like.
Yeah, it's $110.
400 or so people or something. That's pretty good.
Florida's, their fans are, you know,
Their fans are everyone else's fans. That's the thing too. You go to you see watch one of their games on TV, and no matter who they're playing, you have more people in the opposing team's jersey, and the people are cheering more. The only thing that offsets that is when the goal horn goes off for them to outweigh the cheers of the other team.
well, again, you know, we're a bellwether state here, and so they have to win in order to make people come, and that is the problem. They have not, they put together one, you know, great season with the coach of the Golden Knights.
Right, go Gerard Gallant, Eiserman's former
But they
line mate.
fired halfway through the season.
Eiserman's former line mate.
The very next season, they played about 15 games.
Mhm.
There was a probation, and the guy left it in Uber. I mean, what kind of treatment is that? That was very disheartening for me, but he did make some quality drafts. That was finally coming around, and
Finally.
just, you know,
Wasn't Huberdeau the #1 draft one year?
I believe was it a number one draft?
I think he was the #1 draft pick. And I'm gonna look that up right now. Huberdeau was and you said he's finally coming around. What does that mean?
That means that he's scoring on a regular basis. You know, I think he has as many goals as Kessel on the Penguins, and he's getting his regular assists. No, he's got 38 points right now. So he's
That's better.
than Crosby, Kessel, and Holmgren. He's higher in the standings right now. Now, will that last? Probably not. You know, that's the issue. But they do have a solid defense. They have
Third overall.
they got Ekblad. I think these guys are pretty good. And these are the guys that are not your standard hockey names. You know, they're up and comers. They're guys you will know in the future, probably when they get traded. Very similar to Marcszem, who was playing. He had a great last season with the Golden Knights last year. The year before, he barely played when he was on Florida.
I know.
It was a crime shame. So.
But these guys mature, and just so you know, Huberdeau was the 3rd overall draft pick in 2011 by the Florida Panthers, and he's 25 years old, and as you said, he is doing better.
Yes, he's coming around. He's dishing the puck better. He's just playing smarter. Some of that is that Bugner will, just wants them to shoot.
That's right. Bob Bugner is the coach of the Florida Panthers. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So basically, you yelled at us just to crowbar in Florida Panthers in tonight.
But they really did get no respect. However, like they took the Maple Leafs in OT on I think it was Saturday night. It was a big win, and there was a lot of Toronto people down here.
I'm sure they didn't like that.
They were crying. It was an OT win, and I was happy to see it. But they struggle on the road. They're not deep enough. You can tell me the Panthers don't stand a chance in Australia.
Well, let me tell you something about the Toronto Maple Leafs and those people that were at the game. When I saw them play the Ducks, 5,000 fans show up at every one of their games that travel with the team.
Wow.
5,000 like regulars that go around.
It's like the Charleston Chiefs boosters.
Absolutely. I mean, these are like, you know, retired Canadians that just love the Leafs and travel with them.
I would do that if I was retired and I was a Canadian, Toronto Maple Leafs fan.
I think I would this year. I think
Yeah.
the past few years it probably was pretty painful.
Wings lost.
I know, I saw that. Sorry about that. I thought for sure, and I don't know how this didn't get, speaking of crowbarred in, that the Tampa Bay Lightning are a better club because they were run by Steve Yzerman for the last few years. But
What team did he play for, by the way?
he actually won. Did they win the Stanley Cup?
Oh, stop.
What year was that?
You're making me,
Was I
you're
born?
making me blush.
Was I born then? Wait. Oh, I was. That's right.
And
I'm-
what did they have? Everybody? I mean, my God, that team was stacked line to line to line. It was insane. You know, Fedorov. Oh my God, I can't stop naming the stars of that team.
Yeah, I know. And Thomas Jefferson was president too. This is a long time ago.
Oh,
Like,
get out of
it-
here.
you know,
there was hockey before the podcast, Johnny.
I look. We're talking about today. We got to bring it up to speed. We had a whole show last week dedicated to the Detroit Red Wings. So the big question I have about Steve Yzerman is where's he going next year?
That is a big question mark.
Is he going to go back to Detroit, or is he going to go to Seattle?
Well, you know, it's a toss-up, but, you know, I think he's gonna.
It's not a toss-up. His family lives in Detroit still. He has a house there. He's been commuting. He wants to come back home.
Seattle versus Detroit. I'd move
Ken
my
Holland's
family
gonna go
to
over there.
Detroit,
I
to
was not
Seattle.
bad.
I know. I heard that that's a possibility.
Eisman's coming back home. Just leave it at that. It's not. Come on.
If he happens, you're going to move back to Detroit.
No, I just would be excited because I think the team needs a little fresh face in there again.
Oh, they definitely do.
You know,
They need a lot.
Yeah.
Who did they just lose to? Gritty? Did Gritty beat them?
I think Gritty was yeah.
Gritty's the secret weapon. You don't like Gritty, do you, Shahab?
Huh?
Do you like Gritty?
I think it's hilarious.
It is.
I'm neutral on him. Or her. I don't know.
I'm all.
Worst
okay,
mascot in
so
all sports.
I
Josh
think
loves
Gritty is
it.
the worst mascot of all time. I cannot emphasize this enough.
Woj
I'm
hates-
sorry.
You like things like the Philly Fanatic.
I'll
and
take Iceberg.
the Montreal Expos mascot, whoever they have. There's nothing compares. Nitty is, or what is it?
Gritty.
Nitty Gritty, whatever. Gritty. Get rid of him.
He looks like a combination between like the Hamburglar and
Yep.
Grimace
On that.
and
Animal.
Bob Marley with like orange.
I don't know.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's just not right. It's
Googly
weird.
eyes, and just there's something not right about it.
Yeah, we can't have that in hockey. It's not allowed, and I'm not a Gritty fan. Sorry. Maybe we probably have to get Nick Schultz back on the team and ask him about that. Like, did Gritty just wreck it for everybody in Philadelphia? All right, so who else did we forget, Mark? I know you had something about the Minnesota Wild that you wanted to mention.
Well, the question is, you know, Minnesota's playing very well. And can you name one guy on the team?
Parise,
Yeah,
Suter.
Parise, Suter.
Dubnik is the goalie.
Dubnik's the goalie. He's excellent.
Yeah.
Actually,
Steele has him on his team. I'm trying to get him to trade me, and he wouldn't trade that to me.
Never proposed a good enough trade yet.
Well, you can counter me.
Mark, is Granlund still there, or did he get traded? Granlund's an amazing player. Excellent.
Yeah, he's a fine player. It's
But
just, you know, I'll tell you, but honestly, when the Minnesota Wild are playing, I like turn it off. I'm just.
it's so boring.
I have no idea what it is. I can't watch
Just can't
I
watch
think
the
part of
Wild.
I think part of it's the uniforms. I'm not a fan of the uniforms either.
I kind of like their uniforms.
Nah.
You know, but I do have to say that I find
They
that
should
the
go back
Wild-
to being the Minnesota North Stars and make Dallas change their name.
Look, they're not doing badly, by the way. You know, they're in it, and Vancouver's in it now, and you know who? Okay, so who's out of it right now, Mark? If you had to say who's not making the playoffs?
the LA Kings. Over. It is over. There's no question about it. Philly stands a very small chance, but
I agree.
would say they're out.
Over. Yeah. Who else?
Chicago.
Out.
We're 30 plus games in the season here. And
Devils out.
Devils, not, they are so hot and cold, and I don't think that's, their score can.
I think they're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're done. I mean, they're last. They've got 29 points.
St. Louis just as bad.
St. Louis is awful. What about the Panthers?
Panthers, they have a small chance, because I'll tell you what, that when you get into the Eastern Conference,
No,
you have the differential is minimal. You know, I mean, you're talking like 4 points from going and being.
You're right. Yeah, if you look at it, the Panthers have 32 points. The Penguins, who are not in a playoff berth right now, have 36. But the Islanders, who are in a playoff berth, have 36. Yeah, but the Atlantic Division is tough. The Atlantic is Buffalo, Toronto, and Tampa Bay, and they are running away with it.
The differential? Oh, I'm sorry. It's plus 41. Excuse me. I mean, it's crazy. They are absolutely running away with it, and that division is much tougher than the Metropolitan. Metropolitan beats each other up, and these guys in like
Yep.
Florida, they have the Maple Leafs are dominating. They really have a tough chance. They can get a wild card, but they're not going to get into 1, 2, or 3. The wild card is their best shot. And that's what happened last year. That's how they missed last year by a couple points, and that's what happens. They have a tougher road because it's a lopsided division.
Do you think that Washington has a chance to win the Stanley Cup again?
No.
Ouch! That didn't take long.
I think that Trotz was the motivator there. They traded away Grubauer. They felt that he.
He said no.
I thought
I
that was
wasn't
a
there either.
mistake. They're gonna win it. I really don't feel. I think that there are a lot of teams that are these up and comers that are ready to even watch.
Jason just said no. No to Washington.
And go to Washington.
Yeah, I think it was a one-time thing. They all the tumblers fell into place for them, and they blew their wad. That's it, done. No more cups for them. They won their cup, and then they can move on.
Who is going to win the cup then?
Toronto.
Mark?
I feel that if Colorado has home ice advantage, I think it's Colorado.
What?
Yeah. So yeah.
Colorado?
Colorado. I'm gonna say it because no one else will. Why not?
Not why not. I mean, they have good reasons why.
Why don't you say Seattle? No one else is saying Seattle.
No, I understand. Seattle probably could win next year. I think that would be awesome. That would one up the Golden Knights.
One way you go.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, I know Colorado is kicking some serious butt.
They have a lot of young players. They have a lot of talent, and when you get into that high altitude, they have an advantage.
They do.
Advantage, and I mean, it's been a long time for them. I mean, I remember the days of Ozolage and sacking, Patrick Law and Nets. I mean, come on, we're getting there again.
Alex Tenge. He did. He was good.
Adam Floyd.
Adam Foote.
So
Adam
I
Foote.
still hate Adam Foote to this day.
Why? Who did he hurt?
Oh, just him and the rest of those. I don't know. Never mind.
No, do mind. We mind. Adam Foote was tough. Well, we'll see. I mean, I think Colorado wants to make the run. I agree with you, but I still believe Tampa Bay is winning the cup. I got Winnipeg and somebody else in the semis, and then I don't care who it is that makes it to the finals. I think Tampa Bay beats them.
You'll see it's a long way away. But, I just feel that Colorado's a maturing team. I think that they have a decent shot. I wouldn't mind seeing them get in there. I hope that they make a run. The other one that has some potential is Nashville.
Potential, they're one of the leading, I think it's gonna be Toronto and Nashville in the finals.
Really?
Yeah,
Toronto, Nashville.
yeah,
Oof. That could be.
yeah,
Nashville's doing great.
yeah.
They're,
I mean,
they've got all kinds of talent.
But remember, again, Mark, also the window is very narrow for some of these teams. You got 3 to 5 year window, and you're done. Because either the players are gonna get older, and they won't be able to the same players they once were, or the cap's gonna get them, and they're gonna be going elsewhere. Look at, you know, what happened with Van Riemsdyk. You know, he wanted more money. Toronto wasn't gonna pay him. You know, they have enough players on their league, but they can't afford to keep him. He went to Philadelphia. He's not doing anything there, but you know, this is what happens to good teams.
He scored a goal and beat the Red Wings tonight.
Did he?
I did. He did. Yes. So he's doing something.
You got him confused with yourself there just now. You said,
Very much.
you'd be a bloody pulp in the corner over there.
I'd be in the hospital. Are you kidding me? I might not even make it. All right. Well, listen. Thanks for calling us, Mark. We appreciate
Yeah, gee,
the,
thanks. It's been a lot of fun.
glad to hear we're doing a great job.
Well, you know, it's just, you need to broaden your horizons as a doctor, so you gotta open your eyes when you're cut, come on.
All right.
So, that's all, I feel that I have my weaknesses and, take a look around and see what's going on.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Catch you later.